I'm here with my great friend and fellow YouTuber, Keith McGinnis with KCDC Designs. So, don't go anywhere. Wait, you got to go somewhere to do this mission. Go subscribe to KCDC Designs, except he's wearing a Stone Coat shirt. Normally, every other time I see you, Keith, you're wearing
It's
a KCDC.
KCD. I wanted to surprise you.
I like it, bro.
Hey, it's my first time in Oregon.
Yes.
I'm really excited to be here.
Keith is on location in Southern Oregon. Tomorrow is a big day for Luke, so he came out to see the big event, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're mixing up some wild and crazy colors. I just made some real pretty shower panels for my sister out of Stone Coat Epoxy and some purples. And Keith, while flying out here to Oregon, sent me a photo, and he's like, Mitch, a customer sent me this photo, and I want to try to make it. Do you think we'll have time to do a video? I'm like, yes, because I want to go live with you.
Right.
But
when I sent you that picture, I said, but the customer wants a little bit of purple in it because his wife really likes purple.
And if you saw my last live, I made shower panels, and I go, my sister's hair is always purple, so I'm gonna add a little purple into this piece. And then I didn't tell Keith when he said that, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I just made. So when he got here, he saw my shower panels, he's like, this is what I need to make. So we're gonna have some fun.
Done.
We're gonna make it, right?
Yeah. So now we're just gonna try, we're just gonna wing it.
Yep, Keith's making his version, I'm making mine. I have a tape dam up on mine because I'm gonna use more material. I'm gonna kind of push puddles of the resin and let them meld naturally. He's gonna do a lot of hand melding and kind of get his sample close to what his customer's after, right? This is for a customer.
Yeah, actually, what you already did is what I can do for the customer. Sweet. So now I'm just gonna try and do something different, just to see what it comes up with.
Photo
yeah,
to them maybe.
give them kind of two options to look at.
All right,
and see what they like better, and they might say, hey, do a combination of the both.
So you guys are getting 2 epoxy projects for the price of 1 YouTube video. It's going to be epic, and we already have our Stone Coat Art Coat Epoxy mixed up. And if you don't know what Art Coat Epoxy is, it's a 2-part epoxy that was designed and formulated for the do-it-yourselfer and folks new to epoxy, and folks who also want to upgrade their current or build new countertops and not have to spend a stinking fortune. I came from the granite industry, and in the granite industry, granite is a very expensive countertop surface. It's high-end, it's long-lasting, it's durable, but it's very expensive. Nathan just got a quote for his kitchen. You'll see coming up in a very a tutorial coming up. It's shocking. I need to go back to installing granite, dude. The prices they're asking. It's like 20 grand for a 90 square foot kitchen.
Right.
Can you believe that, bro? So Stone Coat was developed and formulated for the person who could sticker shop like that. Somebody who can't afford that expensive price but doesn't want to sacrifice for a laminate. Something that's in everybody else's kitchen. Something that's gonna scratch and get water damage pretty easily. So Stone Coat is developed and formulated from high-end professional grade epoxies. We took the solvents out of them, we made them easy to mix, and then we add colors, and we teach you how to take these colors and make pretty cool countertops. We have countertop kits on our website that give you everything you need to create stunning, lifelike, natural looking counters that can go right over laminate, granite, quartz, solid surface, cultured marble. And we teach you how to do it on this YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, if this is the first time seeing us, go ahead and give us a subscribe. We would love that. That helps this channel grow. That keeps me making videos and teaching you guys how to do this. This color is Purple Mountain. Look at that. Man,
is that the same purple that you used on?
It is.
It is?
And I did not use any of this purple. This is a newbie coming in. Ooh, and you added some white mica. I might steal some of that.
The white metallic.
White metallic,
yes.
right.
Yes.
So there's one thing with epoxy is you want to add colors and get it out of there kind of as quick as you can. Because as you leave the epoxy in the buckets, you're going to speed up the curing time. So if you want longer times to work with the epoxy, you want to really work a little bit quick at this point. You want to mix the epoxy for about 2 minutes with a paddle mixer on a drill. And then we take that epoxy and divide it up into the separate mixing cups. And now what you're seeing is us add colors. This is our black metallic powder. And it is pretty much as the name, black metallic powders. They are ground up micas and actual metals and minerals that stay color fast. But that being said, they're real, so they're heavy. They can settle, but we show you techniques on how to keep those alive and invigorated, so your countertops just look fantastic. Let me know in the comments below if this is your first time seeing Stone Coat, or if it isn't, if you've installed or if you've worked with the products before. And while your thumbs are working away, guys, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. And if any of you, I'm gonna pick a lucky winner, and I'm gonna send a gallon of Art Coat to you if you go over and subscribe to KCDC Designs.
Awesome.
So what colors are you going with today, Keith?
Mitch, I'm basically using the same colors that you are, but I'm also going to use white metallic mica powder. And I know you've got some gold dust as well.
Yep.
I'm mixing up just a little bit of gold dust. Part of what I'm going to do with some gold dust is I'm going to add that to my black metallic, just so I can give that black metallic a little bit of shimmer. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm gonna divvy up that black metallic, so some of it will have that gold shimmer and some of it won't.
That's cool.
But I got to tell you, this is a true story. The countertop job that I just installed, it was for a downstairs bar for a customer. And it wasn't going to fit in one piece, so I was going to have to do an on-site seam, which is one of the great things about Stone Coat Countertop Epoxy. If you need to cut the countertop, get the countertop done, cut it in half, seam it, put your top coat on, it's seamless.
Yeah.
But he was telling me that he looked at granite, he looked at quartz, and they were all going to have to be 3 slabs that were going to have to be cut. And the coolest design that he found, $400 a square foot. $400 a square foot.
Was it blue?
So I told him, I said, promise me you'll go back to the slab yard, get a picture of that, send that to me. I want to try to replicate that.
Right.
Because that's what you can do with epoxy, is you can replicate just about any type of natural stone. So you don't have to pay $400 a square foot. And your friends, your relatives, your neighbors, they're not going to know it's not natural stone.
Right.
End of that story. All right,
cool.
Let me keep mixing.
That's true, though.
That was a true story. That was really interesting.
The most expensive granite I've ever installed was Van Gogh granite, and it was over $500 a square foot. And that is before they paid me to install it. That's before they paid me to fabricate it, template it, transport it, everything. That's the raw slab cost.
And how long ago was it that you priced that? Or was that recently?
No, that was 12 years ago, I'd imagine.
So the price of that now?
Think how much that is. So remember, I have a tape dam, and this is just masking tape. This orange stuff is amazing. It's very, very sticky. And I always apply a tape dam whenever I'm applying more than 4 ounces per square foot. And some epoxy finishes require a little more material than others. And that's not for me just to sell you more resin. That's to achieve a specific design or a finish. So sometimes the extra material, it's a heavy pour, and as you push that material, I learned this on flooring, the puddle of epoxies mound up, and then they self-level back to level. And when they do that, they do some organic melding that is just fantastic. And it's really easy to do. You don't have to be a professional to do this. You could have basic do-it-yourself skills with basic tools, and you could coat right over your old counters.
You could be like me, that could not draw a stick man if my life depended on it. Honest to God. But once you start messing with this and you start looking at pieces of natural stone, look at granite, look at quartz, look at quartzite, look at marble, and then you'll have an idea in your mind of what it takes to replicate that, and you've got all the tools to do it. And it just takes some practice.
Yep. So
and having some fun.
Is a little puddle. This is the amount of epoxy that drizzled off my mixing paddle as I was mixing all my colors in. And I did this on purpose. This is what I call a wash coat or a grease coat. I'm going to take this residual epoxy and wet down the board really thin. See how tight I pull that and it leaves some resin behind? That's what I'm looking for. If I make my board wet and I go to pour all my colors out, they're going to move and meld much better if the board is wet. So I just push this puddle around back and forth like a Zamboni. I'm the epoxy Zamboni.
You ever driven one?
No. I've only seen one ice hockey game in my entire life. It was the San Jose Sharks. It was so fun though, man. I played roller hockey as a kid on
Serious?
on quad roller skates.
Serious?
Yeah.
Quad roller skates when they had 4 wheels underneath them?
Yep. Not the like the inline ones. You know what I mean? The roller blades. Those are for no way. I don't do roller blades. I'm a quad skater, bro.
So let me date myself. When I was a kid, we had
8-track.
steel wheels on our roller skates that you would strap onto your tennis shoes.
Oh my gosh, you would start forest fires in Oregon if you had steel wheel skates and you're going around. I one time followed a semi that started forest fires. I put out 2 of them. He was dragging a chain and the chain was launching sparks
Whoa.
on the highway. Yep, it's crazy. All right, wash coat down. I'm gonna go step 1 here real quick, Keith, and
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pour out some of my base color epoxy and get them to start making a background noise for my project. So I'm gonna take some black and just randomly get it on my board. This is just background noise, so it doesn't even really matter.
Hey, do we know if Christy Moras? Christy, are you on there?
Man,
Christy, if you're there with us, I told Mitch, this is my only Stone Coat shirt. If I get epoxy on it, I'm gonna call Christy and see if she'll send me another one.
yeah, she's probably won 17 or 12 of them.
I think she has a collection.
That was my pewter. And now this is black metallic. You say, Mitch, why would you put black dye and black metallic on the same board? Get in here close and you could see here. Does that show?
Yeah, you can see this into it.
Yeah, you could see it kind of shimmers. And then you have the flat dye right next to it. So a combo of both colors on the board just gives you a little bit more visual interest if you just straight had plain black. Remember, this is only background noise. All right, don't be taking any of my epoxy cups over here, Keith.
I've already used 2 of them.
I'm actually gonna do what I didn't do on my last one. I'm gonna add a little purple into my background noise. The purple, look what the purple does in that black.
What'd you do with the last one? Did you add that purple after?
Yeah, it was like my accent I would meld in late.
Right?
Okay. That's pretty psychedelic. Jerry Garcia mode. So now to spread this, I could grab this and meld it again, but that's really gonna make that quite muddy and meld it. So I'm gonna take my gloved hands and just using the fingertips, I'm gonna kind of pick colors around and get them moved around onto the board. I'm gonna wet my board down with those colors. And this is just background noise for visual interest after I start layering this project. And don't panic at this stage if you think, what am I doing? I'm ruining my counters. You're not, trust me. Because this alone, once this levels out and we hit it with alcohol, is probably gonna be pretty sweet just by itself. But all I'm focusing on at this point, and this is pretty much most projects, I start out making a little background noise and getting material over my undercoat. And then once I have material covered, I know I don't have to worry about spots like this. They're gonna fill up. If I were to have 3 ounces, a light amount of material, and I leave some dry spots, it may stay like that. So just come make those wet, and now all my material will flow. And off to Keith. I'm gonna continue
Yeah,
spreading this.
Keith's still trying to decide what he wants to do, so that's why I'm just kind of paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, this is good.
I thought about doing a dirty pour, but I think I'm gonna do the same thing as far as hand meld, but I'm gonna pour these out kind of in all different directions. That's my Aluminite black dye. And actually I'm gonna save a little bit in there in case I need to doctor that up or add a little bit more. This is my black metallic.
And you did a little pre-fogging on that board, which you sprayed a little color.
I
for
did.
Background noise.
Yeah, so we've got 3/4 MDF that we're working with, and they're painted with the Stone Coat's white undercoat paint. And then I took some black, excuse me, Rust-Oleum gloss spray paint and just fogged the surface. I was planning on using some colors that were going to be a little more translucent. And then when doing that, then those fogged colors actually end up showing through and really give a cool effect. My purple, I'm going to save some back to add it in a little bit later, a little bit. But we'll also put some in there. And the thing about the pewter and the silver, you got to be really careful with it because it can very easily take over.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I should do this, and I don't know if I should be talking about it
What?
on a live.
You could do anything. There's no rules here in Southern Oregon.
Well, so what I did was I added some 91% isopropyl alcohol to my mixture here, just to see if when I melted that out, that isopropyl would add in some effects.
Yeah.
Just kind of automatically. I really don't know how I want to do this. So if there's anything, when you all are watching this, I mean, I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but obviously there's no rhyme or reason of how all of these colors were poured out. And the most important thing is really being patient with what you're doing. When you meld your colors, whether you're using a Bondo spreader, whether you're using a magic trowel, whatever you're doing, be patient and give the epoxy time to develop. Give it time to do what it naturally does. Because we can get so excited, and as soon as we do a technique, oh my gosh, I hate it, and then I want to change it. But yet if you just leave it alone in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes,
Right.
it's crazy.
It really is.
What
you can
you
walk
can
away.
end up, what you can end up, oh, I got some gold in there.
And even this has already calmed down a hair.
Let's, I have no idea how this is going to look, but
I love doing that with that gold because it
will come
does.
through.
Oh yeah, it peekaboos through and adds some really cool background noise. Really does. A lot like diamond does. Like you could put not many glitters you could put into a opaque dye and have it show through. Right? They're gone mostly.
You know what? Very seldom do I say I'm just going to walk away. That I'm not going to start right now.
He's
But-
like, and that's the finished piece.
Normally when I meld this, I would normally meld this either in a striated pattern or I'm going to have a flow that I want that to go. I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm actually, and normally I do it really lightly with my hands so we don't mix the colors.
Do you need a Bondo spreader? or
Well, what I
anything, or-
need you to do is I need you to have for that one to turn out well, so there's no focus left on this one if I completely screw it up. So that's what I'm going to do.
Ooh, he's going to.
Yeah, I'm
Wow,
full
I love
send.
it. So you have pretty much all your colors out, Keith? Or did you save some for...
I have all the colors out, but I did save a few of the colors back just in case I needed to add some
Yeah.
in as an accent.
Cool,
Arcade
you're going.
Trace says,
Ooh.
Keith, that is not a finish on its own.
I would agree with that,
You
Rob.
gotta let it give it some time to flow.
So especially with this here,
There's
I
some
mean,
cool
this is
stuff about
something
this already, Keith. Like,
that-
that part's really cool.
Yeah, and normally, right when I do this, I'm like, okay, I hate it. I got to do something with it, but I'm not going to. Although, this area down here, I want to get some more of that black in there that I hope I saved just a little bit back. And I did.
And then you threw it all over the floor.
And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black and my black metallic that has a little bit of that gold in it, make a little bit of a dirty pour out of it.
I'm gonna rub your edges so as that epoxy starts to flow over, it'll be even. And if you do it nice and early, guys, I don't need to worry about messing up the finish because the epoxy is gonna start flowing over these edges and bring the finish right on over with it.
And the other reason he's doing that is because he knows if I reach all the way across,
He'll ruin his shirt.
my only Stone Coat shirt is
And I'll have to buy him another one.
gonna be ruined.
Guys, let us know any questions along the way, and if you're having fun, if you're enjoying the party, enjoying the show, learning anything, drop a subscribe. We'd love that. And let me know if anyone's interested in purchasing. May be able to help out. Anybody
right.
have a project that they need to accomplish? Do. Who's got old Crush the thumbs up if you've got countertops that have seen better days.
Like this one?
Have your countertops seen better days?
Ooh.
Don't toss it, coat it with Stone Coat Epoxy. Remember that?
Yep. That's like the ShamWow guy.
Billy,
Get yours today.
Officer Tubbs says, I'm thinking of doing my kitchen countertops.
let's go, officer. You got this. Learn. Watch what we do. Okay, here's my background noise, right? Remember this? This is 91% isopropyl alcohol. So this is kind of, there's some cool parts where, look where this kind of just melded away real subtly, but look what happens when I put some alcohol on it. And I probably have 1.5 ounces or so per square foot. It has barely any material.
Where's our torch, boss?
It's at my feet right there. That can seal it up, and now I'm bringing in some more bigger swatches of color. I'm gonna bring in some negative space. I'm gonna let that spread out. And then I'll bring some more like right here. And then another blob right up here. That's my black dye. I'm gonna bring on some pewter. This looks like liquid aluminum.
What about this color?
The snake skin. That's the curly Q. The Quister Twister.
Quister Twister?
Yep. I'm gonna save some though as accent. Bring in some Purple Mountain Majesty.
Officer Herb says, out of curiosity, would you recommend the same product for garage floors? I want to do the same white and some blue and black accents.
So
Wow,
we have
great
flooring
question.
products that are designed and formulated for do-it-yourselfers or pros. Both real good products. But they will, I got some right here. Let's show them. Right here, guys. We've got our Moisture Seal Pro Epoxy Primer. This is the product that goes down over the concrete and really gives you a tenacious bond. But before you put that in, you want to use not our Canada Dry, but our Floor Patch Pro. This fills up all your cracks, damage, all that stuff. You got to work quick. You mix about 10 ounces of that, add some thickener, pour it into the cracks, and you could sand it in 30 minutes. Then you're going to grind your concrete, clean the dust, and put 1 ounce per square foot of our Moisture Seal Pro. Let that dry. You're ready for the next step in 4 hours after that. So then your next step is putting on our flooring epoxy, our flooring epoxy mid coat. That's where you mix all the metallics in like we're doing here, but it's a 2-to-1 product. It spreads further. It mixes super easily, and you put down anywhere from 3 to 5 ounces on the floor per square foot to get some real pretty flowing marbles. So yeah, we have products for you, bud. Check them on out. Okay, I didn't use any of this last time. I'm gonna save it a little bit. I'm too nervous still to put it on. A little black mica. Look at that one. That went the whole way. I got crazy with it. So I've saved put a little bit of gold now. My gold dust. The gold dust looks pretty sweet in the blacks and silvers. Hope I didn't get too crazy though. But that's what I do here. I'm pushing the limits so you guys don't have to. You could go, wow, Mitch, I'm never doing that. That's my goal with some of these. At least that's what I say as insurance. So when it looks really bad, I could say, well, I did that on purpose. Saving some of that too. I'm gonna do some Rolling Stone now, boys and girls. Get rid of some of this. And we've shoot, we've been live maybe what, 20 minutes by now, 15
25.
minutes? Yeah, and you have a good 45 minutes to minimum to work with epoxy. You're talking hour and a half to 2 hours in the right conditions. All right, where's my roller at? I thought I had one prepped. I do. It's right here. Next step, guys, this is kind of why I have a tape dam, because I've done all this extra material, and if I didn't, it would just start rolling off initially because it's quite fluid. But I'm going to now meld these colors with a roller. And I'm not going to roll it like this. I'm going to meld and blend. You also could use your hands again if you wish. So if you wanted to just kind of do a light blending with your hands, you can. See how that already melded that? That's already kind of cool. And then I'll take my fingers on my tape and kind of scrape the resin back in. But I like really using this roller. It's fast, it's efficient. You can do big projects with it. And I'm gonna start in my transitions. I'm gonna wet that down some, and I'm gonna glide and start pushing mountains. See how that pushes the mountain over? Get some more epoxy on there. I push the mountain of material, and then as it self-levels, it's gonna do its own thing. I ran out of distance.
Oh, I did it. My shirt.
I'm only gonna do a few of them. And you come into the silver like that, push it into the white, and bring some of that white over. Now when all that settles down, it's gonna be sweet. And you could get real, oh, where's a Bondo spreader? Back over here. It's a dirty one though. Not anymore. Also, you can grab a Bondo spreader. It's a little dirty. Let's go to that side and pull colors over. I'm going to do that right here this whole way. See how it's pulling that curtain? And then you come here with isopropyl and get it to lace pretty. And it really can add like some smokiness over it. I'm gonna try this method too. I talked about this with Keith, is I'm gonna push them out like this. This is experimenting. I've never even tried this method right here before. That was wild. I often am using alcohol to sell it up and fracture it. I'm a big fan of that kind of look. All right, Keith, what you got going on over there? I'm gonna kind of keep adding a little bit of colors and let this thing move around. And then I'll call you back and do some more melding.
So with this, I got two different things going on. This half over here was lightly melded, and I really like. I love the negative space right there of not touching that black because it really pops. This side I melded a little bit more, so, and I just added some more colors to it, so that's still softening up. But come around this side here, Nate, yeah. But I really like how soft that is. Some of the purple pops out, some of the gold pops out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I thought about on this other side of doing the same thing with the Bondo spreader, of melding that, but I think I'm just gonna let it set for a bit. That has kind of a paisley look to it. But we'll see if that looks like here in about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I love watching it kind of just do its thing.
That was a really hard thing for me to learn in the very beginning because you get all these techniques in your mind.
Yeah.
And instead of letting it give time to develop like what this side has done, yeah, I immediately want to go on to the next technique and the next technique. Next thing you know, it's like I'm overworking it. Is that the bright purple? Whoa. That's almost like a fluorescent purple.
That's like a Sacramento Kings
Dude, that's
purple.
really cool. I love the cells you got going on in there. There's the
I'm gonna bring a
alcohol.
little bit of gold in there. All right, let's see what this does. I'm gonna bring this purple into it. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Sheesh. Gosh. Those two together are pretty. Let me get a torch and then I'm gonna... It made it really loud though, a lot louder.
It's quite.
Thank you, sir. Dang, it's kind of cool the two together.
Yeah. Different look, but using the same colors. That gold inside that purple, that is fire.
Let's see what
That's
the
cool.
alcohol does to that look. I'm gonna get, I'll give it some bigger droplets and then a lighter droplet. So I'll put a little bit into my hand and then drop the bigger drops and then come back with a mist.
Go ahead and catch
Sorry,
mine while
Keith,
you're
I
at
got
it.
you, buddy. And then I got the camera guy. I don't know if I like the cells over it. I liked it better before, personally. What do you guys think? Do you like the cells or not the cells? To sell?
Or not to sell.
That
is
is
the
the
question.
pregunta. I'm liking the black dye and the black mica. That's subtle. That really starts
Yeah.
digging to me. It starts speaking to my soul. All right, let's do a white Bondo spread chop. Any suggestions from the viewers on what direction or what way we should go? I lost the Bondo spreader, then I found it again.
I got it.
You're using one, but I got another one right here too. Yeah, that could be fun. I like that way. Rhonda taught me that little thing over at RK3. Guys,
Yes. And the cool thing about it is when you chop it and you pick it up and drag it a little bit, it creates those little fractures that come off of that. And even more if you let it set and let the epoxy set up just a little bit.
yeah.
I don't know if you can see them, but those tiny little fractures that come off when I drag that across like that, and it gives those little tiny little lines that come off of there. And then that, again, is gonna soften up a lot in time.
I think I'm gonna make an exotic pour vein. I have a lot of white left over here, so
I'm just
do
gonna
that.
chop half of this, because that other half, I really like the way that turned out.
I'm gonna build an exotic pour. Before I do that, I'm gonna add some more of this bright purple. It's kind of cool, huh? Should I add some into the silver?
Yeah, I think both corners would be nice.
Okay, I just add a little bit off my stick. And then let's just meld with a stick instead of the roller this time. I think I like the roller better. Right? Oh! Sorry, that was a lot. Now, ready? Yeah, I mean, just sometimes the way that I need the gold dust in there now. That
Wow, that is cool.
And then just, I'm gonna come in here with just the tip. And cool, tight. Now make a dirty pour. And I'm gonna pour it right through there. An exotic pour. What is an exotic pour? That is where you take
Sounds dirty.
mixed colors. So you can make an entire countertop like this, guys. And you take, just like in the beginning, when we took all of our mixed epoxy, divided it up into our cups, added the colors. If you then, if you then just took those mixed colors and poured them back into a bucket like this, an empty bucket, you're going to create, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this white into here and pour them back into this bigger bucket. That'll be better.
So does it make a difference when you're doing a dirty pour if to pour all the colors straight down into the middle,
Yep.
down the side?
Sure does, buddy. What it can do is it can meld them in the bucket before you get them out. So I'm going to pour in a little white. Then I'm going to pour in some purple. And then I'm going to pour in some, can you see that?
You're good.
I'm going to pour in some gold. Come back down, I have to set it down. Silver. Back to the white. Back to the purple. Dark purple, Purple Mountain. Gold.
You're putting a lot of thought into that.
Not any at all. And then when I get to the bottom, I'll scrape the bucket and then I scrape the stick off. And it doesn't matter what goes on in the cup. What's this? Ooh, this is Keith's Gold Black.
That's that gold dust in the black metallic?
I think so.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Now watch as I pour it from high, it melds it. And let's call it good. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Yee, brother.
Now there's times I'll see people take a stick and just run it through there one
Little
time.
thing, yeah. So what that'll do, what Keith said is, you could take a stick and kind of give it one stir, but you certainly don't want to just do that. You're going to make gray
Mud color.
So I'm going to come in here and just do one little swirl. Ooh, look at that already. Yeah, that's going to be sick, I think. And I think I'm going to come right here because I don't like that choppity dooski I did.
Right.
But I don't want to eliminate that. I'm just going to come right next to the white. Ready, Nate Dog?
Let's go.
Oh, wow. That gold dust, just in the right place. What about pushing the cup and pulling the cup?
Makes a different look. When you push, when you pull, it's more vivid. When you push, it's less vivid because it's rolling out rather
Is that where
than
he gives that
pulling
kind of
out.
that snakeskin look?
And that can happen when you go slow and it does this look.
Right.
Like if you go slow, man, that looks sick though. I'm gonna go right here because it'll probably wash off. I'll show you what kind of can happen if it will. Yeah, see how it's piling up on itself and it wrinkles?
Right.
That gives it the snakeskin look because it's like little chatter.
So you want to keep a consistent pour when you're
Yeah,
pouring that out.
If you don't want the snakeskin, you go faster.
Right. Give you more of an even flow.
Now let's tilt this a little bit. Spread that over. And I'm gonna torch it. It's wild. I don't know about this, Keith. I'm glad that's not my sister's shower panel.
She may love it. You never
This
know.
part's cool. And then
That is cool.
There's parts I don't like, but that part looked good. I don't think I like the dirty pour. Exotic pour.
I'm
But
kind
it
of the same
looks
with
cool
mine.
on camera though. So a propane torch, guys, or heat gun can eliminate all the air bubbles you're seeing. Epoxy's open for multiple hours, and during that time, all the air bubbles that you incorporate, mixing, melding, chopping, all the stuff we've been doing is bringing air into it. Isopropyl alcohol and heat eliminate the air. The isopropyl alcohol also adds the selling look, so if you don't want that, definitely don't miss that on your project. Don't miss the alcohol, then use the torch. You'll lose your eyebrows. I'm gonna pass the heat source about an inch or so from the surface of my project, going back and forth. And as long as you don't keep it just sit in one spot, you're not gonna hurt the epoxy. And you're not gonna do much up here. I'm about here. I'm watching the heat hit the resin, and it's popping the bubbles on the surface, and I just work my way down. Then I'm gonna let it cool off a hair, because when I just incorporate all that heat, it made the surface quite warm and more fluid. So I'm gonna mix some alcohol on here, but I kind of let it cool off first before I do that.
Which is another reason for your tape dam. If you didn't have the
Yep.
tape dam on there, that whole design would just end up flowing. So that holds everything in place
Yep.
to keep it from doing that.
I'm gonna eliminate that little dirty.
You didn't like
pore.
that?
No. I'm gonna erase it here with a 2-finger block, block, block.
And just like that.
And just like that, it already looks cooler. Kind of looks. This is a little geode-y. I haven't messed with purples enough. I need to do that more. What do you guys think so far? Drop an emoji. Drop a big teethy emoji if you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. Or drop a green vomitus emoji if you think I should just
Purple purple.
quit my day job. Another 2-finger meld. All right, that's cooled off again. Now I'm gonna mist it. I'm gonna give her the old Italian drip. When the moon hits, yet I like the big pizza pots.
That's amore. You know the rest of it? Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling.
I just get happy when I hear that because I know I'm about to eat some buca de beppo or something.
Do you know who sings it?
No.
Dude, Dean Martin. I'm dating
Look at
myself.
this, Nate.
That is cool.
I don't know what's going on here. I think it's a baby amount of black in that silver. Goodness gracious. Great huevos on fire.
You want to do that same thing there?
Yeah, I think I want to put this gold into here and do that. That was the 2-finger meld. I think I got a new move. Go away. Big Mitch and his magic fingers.
I was going to leave that one alone. I'm not going there with
Come
that
on,
one.
look at that. The 2-finger meld is sick.
Didn't we learn that from one of the students at RK3?
She did the 5-finger death drag, and it actually looked 5-finger death.
500
punch.
death.
I think I want to do a 2-finger meld with the bright purple now. Where? Not on this thing. The dirty pour messed it up, my opinion. I don't like it.
This is the bright purple you've already got, right?
Yeah.
This area looks really cool.
I know it does. I think I'm going to add this coming
Could
this
have just
way.
a little bit right in here to break that up.
Ooh, here, put a little there and do it.
And the little 2-finger meld to follow.
Yeah. The 2-finger death meld. That looks like hot rod stripes now almost.
Flames.
Yeah.
We'll see how that softens up. I might have to get a little bit of gold in there.
Yeah, pass me the gold when you're done. Oh, I got some. We're getting thick now a little.
It is starting to set up a little bit.
We're at 45 minutes.
So Mitch, you were talking about the time you have to work this, and I've done so many countertops, customer countertops, and I had one that it was a pretty intricate design, but I put a piece of tape at the halfway point. So while I was working it, I knew when I got to that halfway point, I'd look at the clock, see how much time I had left. I was 1 hour left and still had half the countertop to do.
Oh,
and I was
man.
still running the last vein at the 2 hour mark, and it spread the epoxy out like it was parting the Red Sea.
Oh my gosh.
Took my heat gun to it,
Whoa.
closed it right up, melded right out. It was awesome. So that to me was a true testament of, in the right climate, you've got the right amount of time to work with it.
We got a flow art by Jessica. Says hello, greetings from London.
London.
Hey.
Hello.
Would
What
be
time
a-
is it in London?
Would that be a hello, mate? Or is that Australia?
That's Australia.
Oh,
girl.
dang it.
We all love our Australians too, but we do you know Stone Coat is available in the UK? On our website, we have a site, a page called Resources, and you'll see there it has our foreign distributors: Canada, Australia, UK,
We got Andrew from London.
Mexico, I think even. Stone Coat's going worldwide. I love it. I didn't like that big white blob there. It was kind of weird.
The one in the
Still is
middle?
Weird now. I want the little booze on there.
All right, now
what
that
y'all
this one
think?
is softened up a little bit,
It's looking good, Keith. I'm gonna let this do its thing.
Flow by Art says, yes, I'm stoked you guys are now available here. I found out Maker by Maker Central. So glad I can get you to see here now.
Right on.
Nice.
Heck yeah. You know what? I don't like this dirty pour so much. Wonder what the roller would do through it. I'm gonna
which
see.
one? Right through here?
Yeah. I'm
Man,
gonna-
I like that.
You do?
I do. I do, and I kind of like the outline
I don't like
that
the
goes along there. The cells?
Yeah, and the purple. That's what I don't like. It looks unnatural to me. But
Do we have a vote?
there's parts of this I like, but parts I don't.
Thing is, there's a big difference in
Yeah.
design.
That's what maybe it's throwing
Boom
it
to
off.
boom.
Yep.
Right.
Where's the alcohol? Is that at your feet?
Right here.
I want to hit this little section I hit with that roller.
Ooh, what if you fogged a little bit of black on there and then kind of granified it?
Ooh, I know what I need to do. What the heck am I thinking?
What was I thinking?
This.
Oh, you forgot.
Guys, you never want to tint your epoxy. Watch out for my floor thing. I'm about to headbutt it. You never want to tint your epoxy, so like put clear epoxy and mix. That's not what you want to do with spray paint. Epoxy and spray paint, you can spray the tip. You could spray the surface and meld it on, but you never want to use it as a colorant. If you don't allow the propellants to escape, it can prematurely discolor your epoxy early. So don't want to do that. But you can get some cool effects with Rust-Oleum spray paints. You could fog, you could fog and fracture. You could stripe the piece and then meld it. Just don't mix the colors in. Is that how you do it?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, the difference with what you've got there is that's the fast dry,
Yeah, this is a
high
floater.
metallic. So yeah, this is one that's going to remain on the surface. So once you put that on the surface, and one of the things about that is when you create those veins, if you do it very, very early on when your epoxy is really fluid, what it can do is the epoxy is going to stretch, whereas the paint isn't, and so it's going to tear it. So if you do those types of effects later on in the pour, then they're going to stay in place and they're going to stay put. So there's like a silver and a chrome that remain on the surface.
But they float. They're like a surface floater, like Georgie from the It.
RK3 says, spray the paint on the table and dip your fingers in it, then flick it, and you'll get some cool dots.
Ooh, I've never tried that. I will though. That's a cool idea. And when you initially go in, it really blossoms because you add a bunch of material, right? A bunch of that propellant initially. So to calm that down, I'll kind of come push the resin next to it, and you could kind of come stretch it out again, right? And then it's not a big
And that's a good way to do it instead of going inside of it.
Because you could really start breaking it up.
Tearing
like if
it,
I
right.
come here, it'll break it up. You see, and it kind of can get less natural looking like that. I want more of a man. I'm really going
If it does start to set up or start to tear, you can warm it up a little bit with a torch.
All right, let's do the Rhonda trick. You want to
That's
try it
cool.
on that? Try it on this end, Keith. So she said, spray it, dip your fingers in, then flick.
Yep.
Try it. Ooh.
Like that, Rhonda?
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Come on, Rhonda, are we doing that right?
I think so. It looks cool.
Architecture says yes.
Yeah, okay. I passed. I get a passing
Fail.
grade.
All right, guys. We're pretty much.
Now, if you do get one of those dots, and you
Yep.
see a dot in there that you don't like,
Yeah.
you can fix it just like that.
I'm gonna track.
Like in this white right here. I'm not crazy about that. So we'll just pull that out.
I'm putting gold in the gold.
There's gold in them Nar Hills.
I've got gold dust in the gold bright.
The other thing you want to be careful about is when you go to prep this for your flood coat, when you sand it, be careful not to sand that spray paint that remains on the surface, whether it's silver, chrome, or gold, because when you
Yeah.
sand that, it will put sand scratches in it, and those sand scratches will show through your clear coat.
Yep.
So just sand on both sides of that, and you're still going to get great adhesion with your flood coat.
Somebody asked, can you use a syringe to
Yep.
suck up the dots that you don't like?
Oh yeah, you probably could use your finger and.
Oh, and
eliminate
just touch them right out?
them. Yeah, like if you hate them.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
There's one right there.
Touch it. Bye, Felicia.
Gandhi.
Nice
Gandhi.
knowing you.
Let's do that one. There's a
You
real
like
bold
hanging
one
out?
right
Bye, bye, Felicia's.
there. Bam.
But I like them. They're kind of cool.
So yes, the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah, you probably want to make more of a uniform look, and it wouldn't.
Now, if you end up with a booger, like what we got right there, make a set of tweezers, just like that, and pull that little booger out, just like that. And you'll never know it was there.
Let's bring in. Where's that bright purple? We're all out of it, aren't we?
No, I think still got some over there. Make your way over this way, Nate. Let's see what the group thinks about a massive fail or a savior here. So we got two halves. This, I'm not gonna say, but this half was just basically melded, but all the colors are in there. You can see the gold dust is in there. You can also see some of the gold dust might be hard on camera. That's within the black metallic. And then this side is more, to me, looks a little bit busier, but it's fractured. Actually, what I could do with that,
That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna fracture that. Can I bring that black spray paint back in? You know what? Let's do that. We're not done yet.
No,
We can do more?
absolutely. I just have to pick up my suit from the cleaner. What time is it?
2:30.
We're good.
All right.
I gotta leave in a half hour though.
So I'm gonna really very lightly, we're just gonna granify this one half with some black spray paint and some white spray paint, so I don't get it on Nate. So there's our black, a little bit of white, and fan blowing it.
Yeah.
Whoa,
That's my
hello.
AC in here.
Get a little bit bigger drops in there. And then we're gonna get some finer mist going on. There we go. Now, whenever you're doing that with the spray paint and granifying like that, you really have to give it time. You'll want to hit it with more alcohol to try to get those cells to open up. So you really just need to get your alcohol in there and then just give that time for those cells to develop and give that time to work. It can only take about 5 minutes or so. Instead of getting impatient and keep spraying it like Keith is doing right now.
It's been fun.
But we'll look at that in a few minutes and see what that looks
These are
like.
pretty bold colors. So guys, if you got in the middle of your project and you add way too much purple, you go, oh man, it's way too much colors. Mix up some more of your base colors, some more of the black, and use it as an eraser. Your base colors could be laid back on top as a almost used as an eraser. Look at all
You
this.
could even with yours, if you felt like you had too much purple on there, with your roller that's already wet, you can pick up some of your black and roll through that to break that up a little bit.
Yep, I'm gonna grab a little purple out of this bucket, put it into this white, give it a swirl, and I'm gonna pour this right here. Might make it a little less busy here with that dirty pour. You can see how much slower that material is moving. That's because we've been mixed up for a while now.
1 hour,
Yeah.
pretty close.
Mm-hmm. I just added some more white. A little white mica.
Ooh, I'm seeing a 2-finger meld right along that line.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bam. Cool.
Isn't that crazy how we both used exact same colors except for your bright purple
Yeah, that bright.
and came up with 3 completely different looking designs?
I'm digging some of the bright in the black, man, a lot.
Yeah.
This was my favorite for a second. And the golden with it. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Definitely could make a pretty epic gaming desk or something. I don't know if I'd put this in a kitchen. But again, like I was making shower panels. So your shower could be more of a statement piece. Nate, turn around and show them my sister's shower right there. So, right over here. This is the panel I made, this is the side panel I made for my sister. So you can see your diamond dust and your pewter. There's my gold line. A little bit of that purple mountains in here. Got the white and the selling. I made this on another live, so you guys could go check that out. It'd be a good time to subscribe, guys. We're going live all the time lately. It's been a lot of fun. YouTube has been blasting our lives out to all sorts of new audiences, so we've been taking advantage of that. And there's my son. The other day, Jason came out in the middle of a live. It was epic. And he joined in. He's my 5-year-old son. He joined in and started playing with, and the audience is like, give him some gloves, let him play. And I'm like, oh man, corporate told me not to let my kids do it. They don't want me to show that. I'm like, when do I listen to them? So I did it anyways.
Are they saying not suitable for minors or what?
Well, yeah, you think it would need to be supervised, and hey, who could better supervise than a giant 41-year-old bearded child himself? So we had fun. But Jason's pouring the resin out, but he goes like this, Dad, it's so good, and rubs his face.
Oh no.
I'm like, off camera. And then I took alcohol, I'm like, rub it, and he goes, and he's like, I'm like putting, what is that?
Smelling salt?
Chloroform on him. I'm gonna knock him out. Poor kid. All right, I made a little baby dirty pour. Let's see what that does. I just can't stop. It's probably gonna look terrible. I want to cover up some of that purple selling.
What's cool is your gold kind of made a dividing line from half to half.
There's not enough in this cup. It's just gonna get stupid. Yeah, I'm done. This is too thick now. All right, All right, now if this was going to be an installable project, I need to remove this tape dam, and it's too early. Removing the tape dam determines on your heat and humidity of where you're working in. And I would come over to the edge of my project, and I'm going to stick my finger in the resin, and I pick up. And it's falling off my finger instantly, and when it hits the other product, it's instantly self-leveled. That tells me way too soon still. What I want to see is when maybe this one's, there was a super thick one. It's okay, I won't be able to do one.
Right.
But if I have it much thicker, so I'm gonna pick it up and I'll drizzle it down, and I'll see the little mound on top, and it's gonna chill there, and I'll watch it slowly self-level. That's when I know I'm ready. It's stringy. I'll pick it up and I'll stick onto my finger this far off the piece. I know it's ready. And then I'm gonna peel the tape all the way around. I'll let the epoxy flow. I'll hit any dry areas with my finger, wet those down, then that flows real well. And then it's gonna cure for the next 15 to 18 hours. In 24 hours, I could come back and sand and apply a clear coat, or come back and do the ultimate top coat. If you don't want to sand, you would need to come between hour about 18 and 24. Past 24 hours, you're gonna need to mechanically sand with about 220, 320 grit, clean off the dust, and now your next layer is gonna bite.
And I do that a lot during that open window.
Yeah. And then you're gonna let it cure a couple days, and you could go install. If you're pouring on in site, that's the tricky part. If you're pouring on site where your kids are and everything, you got to keep the kids and everything out of the kitchen while that product cures. And if you do this for a living, if you're an experienced DIYer or contractor, we have a new product called Speed Cure, and it's a thicker material, but it's going to, I'm looking for the torch right behind me. It's gonna cure in 3 to 4 hours. You can move on to the next step in 4 hours. That's epic. And you could get some really, really cool stuff. I'm gonna eliminate the air on this. Then Nate, I think I'm gonna, man, this is sick. That purple's poking through. The bright purple and the pewter look good together.
They do.
They're not too much. It's almost more toned down than the bright purple and the black. I like it. Whoop.
And the way it's fractured.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. I ran out of arms. T-Rex over here. And guys, I had a lot of fun. Any questions before we go? We have hands-on training, guys. If you check out rk3designs.com, that's where you'll find a class schedule for hands-on training using Stone Coat Epoxy. Ron has been teaching our classes for a couple years. They're her own classes, but she uses Stone Coat Epoxy. We just added a flooring class. So our next one, our very first solo individual flooring pro class is in November. Check it out at RK3 Designs. But following that class is a pro countertop course. So you could come out for a full week. You're gonna be trained for 3.5 days on floor and then 4 days on countertops, and you're gonna be set up for success and ready to rock and dominate your local area using Stone Coat Epoxy. You're gonna learn business skills. You're gonna learn. You're gonna get a contract that pays for the class all on its own. Check it out, RK3 Designs. And if you haven't already, please go over and subscribe to KCDC Designs on YouTube. He teaches videos like we do here. He's a great instructor. That looks pretty cool, bro. At first I was like, what's going on? I think I like this side more than that side. What about you?
I like this side better personally. I think that side's a little bit busier, but it actually, by granifying that, actually came out a little bit different.
It's more toned down though. Somebody
It toned it down a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
That does have the granite look to it, where granite could get going, but it'll have like the pattern on there that makes it all uniform and ties it all together.
The reason I did that is just because to me it looked a little bit too busy. So again, that's a way that we've got so many different ways, and there's so many different techniques that you can use to change the look without really doing anything drastic to it. And that was just hitting it with some white black spray paint, fracturing it with some isopropyl alcohol. But this side, I really like the way that this side turned out. It's very soft, the way it melded out.
Some really cool stuff.
All the colors are in there. Got the purple, got the black, got the gold.
Beautiful. That was fun, man. So what's next?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who does subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support. I got another video coming out tomorrow morning.
Cool. What's that video on?
That's another one that, this was really cool. A customer sent me another one. It was an inspiration photo of what they want on their countertops. And it ended up that it was a design that was done by Coat Countertops, which is also a Stone Coat Countertop
awesome.
contractor, Stone Coat user that do some amazing designs.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. So shout out to Coat Countertops.
They're
and
so funny, too,
yeah,
online.
going off their picture, yeah, created a design and sent that to the customer. They said, absolutely, that's it. So
Sweet.
yeah, it's exciting.
Guys, thanks. Subscribe before we get out of here. You won't regret it, I promise. And until next time, from Stone Coat Epoxy and KCDC Designs, don't forget, you got this. And we'll see you on the next Epoxy Live. Adios.